1330 WEBY, Northwest Florida's Talk Radio. This is Your Turn, a live call-in show featuring spirited discussion and debate about issues that matter to the community. Your Turn is sponsored by People's First Community Bank, the best bank in the neighborhood. Stay with us to hear what Northwest Florida thinks. Better yet, call in at 623-1330 and tell us what you think. It's Your Turn here on 1330 WEBY, Northwest Florida's Talk Radio. Now, here's the host of Your Turn.
All right. Kenneth missed his opening. Sorry about that, audience. I apologize. I got slightly distracted here. We're keeping Charlotte Brown with us here into this hour because of some work that she has done on the Community Maritime Park, and I wanted to talk to her about an article that she had as a viewpoint in the Pensacola News Journal. So, Charlotte, thank you for staying.
Well, you're very welcome.
I appreciate it. Yeah, Charlotte Brown. And this was totally impromptu, but boy, am I glad she decided to go ahead and do it. Now, Mallory, let me understand this. We are not going to have a break this half hour. Is that correct? Do I understand that right? We're going to go straight on through. I got Mort O'Sullivan's going to be joining us at 5:15 today. I only get to have him for 10 minutes. He's at an economic conference dinner. Mort is the president of the Pensacola Area Chamber of Commerce this year. He is the lead partner for O'Sullivan Creel. Mort is the reason that the sewage treatment plant is going to move. And you say, why do you say that, Kenneth? Well, I'm going to let Ed Spears, who works for the city of Pensacola, be brought on board right now, and he's going to be my guest also. Ed, great to have you here with us today.
Hi, Ken. How are you? Hi, Charlotte.
Hi, Ed. Good.
All right. All right. Have you two met, Ed, by the way? Have you
yes,
Ed?
we have, and that's what I wanted. I was going to say good to see you, but not actually seeing you, but feeling you.
All right. Very good. Well, all right. Well, listen, let's start off with that. We've got a lot going on here. A lot of people have got a very, very wrong impression about what's happened since the Supreme Court ruling. We're going to get into that in a little bit, but I thought that was kind of an interesting way to open up to Mort O'Sullivan. And awesome leadership, just absolutely, totally awesome leadership. One of the things that these negativists have tossed out, and you hear this all the time, folks, it's a lie when you hear it, is, oh, yeah, they're going to build the Community Maritime Park, and all you're going to do is smell the poop plant across the street. Well, Ed, can we get a little truth squad going here? Tell us, what is the situation on the water treatment, the sewage treatment plant? And yeah, I think that Mort O'Sullivan deserves some accolades for the work he did, and bring our audience up to speed before I have him on. He's going to be calling in about 1:15, so he can't hear this, so I don't have to worry about embarrassing him, but he deserves some credit here. Where are we at on that project, Ed?
Well, I can give you the information from the latest update that I received from the Emerald Coast Utilities Authority, and this is their project. It is not a City of Pensacola project, but I was briefed by some of their staff a few weeks ago. The land by the Solution plant in the northern part of the county has been acquired by ECUA. They own the land now. They're actually doing some clearing up there, so that's a pretty exciting activity that they're actually working on clearing the land. They've mostly achieved the pathway that the line will take, the sewer line will take to get the effluent up there. They have a permit in hand from the Department of Environmental Protection for their discharge. That is a major, major accomplishment, getting that permit. That is the green light to go when you receive that permit. They have bids out for contractors to build this thing right now and are expecting those shortly, and they begin to actually break ground and do the work of construction next year. They have to spend the majority of their funding, which is $150 million from FEMA. They have to spend that by 2009, and they are on track to accomplish that. The sewage treatment plant will be moved. The new plant will be operational by 2010.
Could you go ahead and, I mean, obviously, I don't mean to embarrass Mort with the accolades, because Mort is not a grandstander. He does not seek the spotlight. He works very quietly, but goodness, he is competent. Can you share with us a little bit about Mort's role in this? Because my understanding is he is the key player that really kind of got the different government entities together and was able to swing that. Can you give us a little hint on how he participated?
One of the definitions of a true leader is someone who takes all the responsibility and gives away all the credit, and I think that defines Mort O'Sullivan. He's one of the most humble gentlemen you will ever meet and downplays his role in these efforts to improve our community. But without him, I think a lot of improvements would be missing in Pensacola right now, and a lot of projects would either be slowed or non-existent. He is a financial advisor to a lot of organizations in the community. He showed ECUA how to fund this thing and make it possible with as minor of increases in rates as possible, but showing them ultimately that if you want to improve our environment and if you want to improve our community, this is a necessary project and it's worth it.
One of the things that we've heard a lot about. Let me first of all make the statement that, as I understand the timetable for the Community Maritime Park and moving this sewage treatment plant, the way I've always envisioned it is as the sewage treatment plant is going down and disappearing while the Community Maritime Park is rising up, kind of an inverse relationship with each other, so that when we really get the Community Maritime Park up and running, that sewage treatment plant will be gone. The truth is the sewage treatment plant will never be an adverse factor for the Community Maritime Park. Is that a correct understanding of what's going on?
I totally agree with that. It will be gone by the time we're fully up and operational at the Maritime Park. It's quite honestly not an issue today. The prevailing winds are from the south. It blows, towards the north. You can walk down there to the bulkhead right today, and I assure you there are no foul odors. I've been down there many times with consultants and engineers and the like walking around the property. It is a very long way from the sewage treatment plant from the edge of the property there. But yeah, when the wind shifts a little bit, there might be some odors. I work in City Hall, so we do have that issue to deal with from time to time. But you're absolutely right. As the Maritime Park is coming out of the ground, the sewage treatment plant will be crumbling to the ground.
All right, now then, that brings me then to our next question, which is, all right, so first of all, folks, here's the truth. Anybody who tells you that the sewage treatment plant is going to be an adverse factor in the success of the Community Maritime Park is either totally uninformed, in which case listening to them is useless, or they are a liar. And I don't know how else to put it to you. I mean, one of the things that, I was teasing with Charlotte here in between breaks here, it's not like people walk away from talking to Kenneth E. and say, gee, I wonder what he really meant. I don't know how else to put it to you. When people tell you that sewage treatment plant will be an adverse factor they are either absolutely uninformed, they are as ignorant as a bag of rocks, or they're just flat out lying to you. They know the truth, and they're lying to you anyway. And that is where we're at as far as that factor goes. With that said, then, let's go ahead and talk about, okay, fine. What happens to this piece of property? By the way, the reason I have Charlotte here is a viewpoint she wrote called Rise Up Pensacola, You're Destined for Greatness. And Charlotte, we really are going to come to you. But I want to lay down some groundwork here with this, and then we do expect Mort Sullivan to be calling in the next couple of minutes, and he'll join us. I get all of 10 minutes with him. We'll turn it over to him and let him do his thing. But what happens to the property that is now the sewage treatment plant?
There will be a large lift station on the block that is to the north of the existing plant that's on the corner of Government and that should be DeVillers Street, actually.
Okay.
That's where the lift station is. This system is a gravity-fed system. Everything likes to flow downhill. So it's going to come to this point still. It's a totally contained system. It'll reach that lift station, and it'll be pumped back via this new transfer line to the new plant in the northern part of the county. And totally sealed, no odor, no anything. It's just a conveyance system. Mm-hmm. Once that system is up and running, the current plant will be shut down. Everything will be demolished on the site. It will be brought back up to grade. Any environmental issues will be remediated, and it will be available for development.
Okay, now my understanding is at one time that was owned by the city of Pensacola, and they sold it to ECUA for some sweetheart deal, who owns the property and how will it be disposed of?
Well, ultimately, the citizens of Escambia County own it because ECUA is a government that is owned and operated by the public.
Okay.
We elect the representatives who sit on the ECUA board. It is a public government. So the people own it, plain and simple. That's the short answer. But ECUA will determine the redevelopment of that property. The city is contributing some $20 million to the project to clean up the current site, bring it back up to grade. That's being funded through our CRA, which, if the Maritime Park project had tapped us out completely, we wouldn't be able to fund that. It just shows the strength of our CRA and the capability to continue with other projects and to multitask in our community. We do have that ability to do multiple projects at once. These are all big projects, but we can do them simultaneously. That property will be brought back to grade free and clear, and an ECUA will make a determination. Now, for our $20 million, we hope to have a large voice in how that property is redeveloped.
All right, very good.